I always believed the loneliest sound in the universe was silence. Not the quiet you find in empty rooms on Earth, but the cosmic kind, the overwhelming, endless, soul-stretching silence that fills the corridors of deep space stations when everyone else has gone to sleep. That was the silence I heard every night aboard Aurora 9, an observation outpost orbiting the uncharted planet Alindra. It was supposed to be a simple research assignment, 6 months, low risk, high pay. Perfect for someone like me who preferred solitude over small talk. I'd imagined long hours staring at data streams, monitoring the planet's electromagnetic pulses, and eating rehydrated noodles while watching old Earth reruns. But that night, everything changed. Because I realized I wasn't alone. And she realized I could be heard. Beginning, the first signal. It was 2:17 station time when it happened. I had just finished running diagnostics on the external sensors when the console flickered. Not the usual static glitch, but a long, slow pulse like a heartbeat.
1, 2,
3. The readings danced across the screen with a rhythm too intentional to be natural. Another anomaly? I muttered, rubbing my eyes. Come on, not tonight. But then the sound came. A faint whisper humming through the internal comms. Not a voice. Not static. Something between the two. Like spoken electricity. And then, the sensors activated themselves. The external cameras shifted direction on their own, every lens turning toward the dark hemisphere of Alindra. No way, I breathed. Nothing on this planet is supposed to emit signals. Alindra had been marked uninhabited for 83 years. No life signs. No structures. No microbial complexities. Just stone, storms, and strange energy pockets. But then the signal sharpened. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't noise. It was communication. I leaned closer to the audio console, and in a trembling voice I whispered, "Hello? Can you hear me?" Silence. And then, a soft, melodic exhale filled my headphones. Almost like a sigh. I tensed. Identify yourself. For a moment, the voice faded. Then, with crystalline clarity, a woman's whisper brushed through the calm line. "I hear you." I froze. My skin prickled. I checked the crew log, but I was alone on the station. The rest of the team had left for orbital repairs, leaving me in charge. So, who the hell had just spoken? Before I could react, the lights dimmed. The temperature dropped 7 degrees. My breath fogged the air. A shadow formed near the viewing deck, not cast from anything, but appearing as if the darkness itself had gathered into shape. At first, it was just a silhouette. Then it stepped forward. And it wasn't human. The first meeting. She stood nearly as tall as the control doorframe, her figure elegant yet alien. Luminous markings rippling across her skin like bioluminescent ink. Her hair floated weightlessly around her head, moving as though underwater. And her eyes were glowing violet, not reflecting light, creating it. I stumbled backward. How? You're not supposed to be. This station is sealed. She tilted her head slightly, studying my panic with far too much calm. You called to me, she said. You were not meant to hear my thoughts, yet you did. I didn't hear your thoughts. I heard you through comms. Her lips curved into a faint smile, the first expression I'd ever seen from a creature like her. That was no transmission. That was me. Her voice wasn't carried by sound waves. It resonated directly in my mind, like a song vibrating beneath thought. I am Saria of Alindra, she continued. You were the first to listen. And so I came. My heartbeat thundered in my chest. You came here?
Why?
How did you even enter the station? She blinked slowly. Walls mean little when one travels through consciousness. I swallowed hard. That's impossible. Everything is impossible, she said softly, until someone does it. She took a step closer, and the room warmed. The frost melted from the glass panels, replaced by a strange golden glow shimmering from her body. I backed away instinctively, but she raised one hand, not threateningly, but invitingly. Fear is expected, she whispered, but unnecessary. I didn't respond. I couldn't. She wasn't attacking. She wasn't hostile. But she also wasn't human. What do you want? I finally asked. She looked directly into my eyes, and for a moment, it felt like she was looking through me. You have been alone, she said. Not a question. A statement. My throat tightened. That's none of your business. I hear what is unspoken. She smiled again, gentle, almost understanding. And that terrified me more than anything else. Middle. The truth about Alindra. In the days that followed, Saria returned every night. Sometimes for minutes. Sometimes for hours. Each time, she materialized through pools of shimmering light that appeared where shadows met. She moved with the grace of starlight and the quiet of drifting dust. I tried asking how she did it, but her answers were always poetic. Space is a membrane. Mind is a door. You opened yours first. Gradually, my fear faded, not because she became less alien, but because she became familiar. We talked about everything. Earth, her world, loneliness,
Time.
human curiosity, alien memory. On the fourth night, she taught me her people's way of seeing. She touched my forehead with one glowing fingertip. And suddenly the station disappeared. I wasn't standing on metal flooring anymore. I was standing in a vast twilight field. Alindra, but not the barren world scientists had mapped. This Alindra was alive, vibrant, filled with crystalline forests and floating rivers of light. I gasped. This isn't real. It was, she said, stepping beside me. Before the silence. What happened? She hesitated. Then her voice darkened with grief. My people could hear thoughts, feel emotions, touch minds. But when conflict came, our abilities turned against us. The pain of war echoed through every consciousness. Her eyes dimmed. We shut ourselves inside our minds. Not dead, not alive, just dreaming, waiting for a voice strong enough to reach us. So that's why I heard you? Why you heard me? You called out into the void, she whispered. Not with words, but with longing. She touched her chest, and I answered. I didn't know how to respond. For the first time, I felt something shift inside me, recognition, understanding, maybe even connection. When the illusion faded, we were back on the station. The room felt small after standing in a world of endless light. Saria looked at me. There is more you must know. What? She floated slightly, her feet never touching the floor. Our world survives through shared consciousness, but it is fading. Your mind, your thoughts awaken me, and with me, the others stir. You mean your people can wake up?
Yes.
But only if the connection remains. Connection? With me? She stepped closer. Her hand hovered inches from mine. You are the bridge. My breath caught. Why me? Because you listened, she whispered. You heard me when no one else did. The growing bond. Every night after that, she showed me more. Memories of Alindra before disaster. Songs sung in colors instead of sound. Fleets of crystalline ships sailing through nebulae. Cities carved into floating monoliths. Her presence felt like warmth slowly thawing a part of me I hadn't realized was frozen. But the more I learned, the more I realized something dangerous. Each time she connected with me, she grew weaker. She tried hiding it, dimming her glow, masking her voice, but I noticed. Are you okay? I asked one night as she materialized slower than usual. She smiled faintly. It is simply the cost. What cost? Staying in your plane. You mean coming here drains you?
Yes.
Our forms are bound to thought energy. Crossing worlds requires more than light. Then stop, I insisted. You're hurting yourself just to talk to me. She reached out, brushing my cheek with gentle light. You gave me something my people have not felt in centuries, she whispered. A reason to awaken. Her eyes softened. And a mind that speaks honestly. Her words struck deep, deeper than I wanted to admit. But as her glow flickered again, fear tightened around my ribs. Saria, if you keep doing this, you'll... She shook her head. Do not speak of endings.
Not yet.
The crisis 3 weeks later, the station detected an anomaly so massive it shook the hull. An energy wave rising from Alindra. Unstable. Chaotic. Saria appeared instantly. Not gliding, but stumbling. Her glow was dim. Her breathing heavy. Her body flickering like a dying star. What's happening? I shouted. They are waking, she whispered. Too fast. Too many. Without guidance. Can we stop it? She looked up at me, eyes trembling with both hope and fear. You must anchor them. Anchor?
How?
You must let me fully enter your mind. Then I can channel your stability, your emotions, and guide them back into balance. Enter my mind completely? Yes. And if I agree, what happens to me? She didn't answer.
Saria.
Tell me. Her voice broke. You may not return. The room fell silent. The station lights flickered like nervous fireflies. She looked at me with more emotion than I'd ever seen in any being, human or alien. I do not ask this lightly, she whispered. But without you, my world ends. I stared at her, at the alien woman who had walked into my solitude and shattered it with a smile and a whisper. And I realized something painfully simple. I wasn't alone anymore. And I didn't want her to be either. I'll do it. Her eyes widened. Are you certain? Yes. She placed both hands against the sides of my head. Then do not resist, she breathed. Whatever you feel, let it happen. The merging light engulfed everything. I felt her thoughts rush into mine. Not violently, but like a tidal wave of emotion, memory, sound, color, and ancient pain. I saw her childhood beneath Alindra's twin moons. I felt her loneliness in the centuries of silence. I heard her people crying out in dream sleep. And I felt her fear of losing everything, including me. The connection deepened. Our minds intertwined. And then, suddenly, thousands of voices roared awake. Confusion. Chaos. Screaming energy surges. Saria strained to hold them back. They are too many, she cried. No. I gasped, reaching deeper, gripping her consciousness as tightly as I could. Guide them. I'll hold you. Together, we pushed. One mind stabilizing another. Her world waking up through mine. My emotions anchoring her people. Her strength fueling my resolve. Slowly, slowly, the storm calmed. The voices softened. The chaos stilled. The energy wave settled. And then there was silence. Warm, peaceful silence. Ending, the new dawn when my vision cleared, I found myself lying on the station floor. The lights had returned to normal. The alarms were silent. The air felt warm again. Saria knelt beside me, but this time, her glow was brighter than ever. Stronger.
Alive.
You survived, she whispered. So did you. I managed, smiling weakly. My people have awakened, she said. They are conscious again. A world restored because of you. I exhaled, overwhelmed. I'm glad. She reached out and took my hand, fully physically, not through energy or thought. You are not alone anymore, she said softly. And neither am I. A portal of shimmering light appeared behind her, a gateway to Alindra renewed. She stood and extended her hand to me. Come, she whispered. My world wishes to thank you, and I would like you to see it not in memory, but in truth. I hesitated only a moment. Then I took her hand. The light enveloped us, and as the universe shifted around me, one last thought echoed in my mind. Not mine, but hers. When you thought you were alone, I heard everything. And I realized something beautiful. Maybe the universe had never been silent. Maybe I just needed someone who could hear me. Saria smiled, and together, we stepped into the new dawn of Alindra.